In this video, we're going to talk about email signatures. Now, I know what you're thinking. Email signatures are the whole reason that you wanted to become a voiceover artist in the first place. They're just such an exciting topic of conversation. But in terms of the level of correspondence that we conduct, primarily via email, they can actually be really essential aspects of your business. Now, when most of us kind of start out, we may just have a basic email signature where we start with our name and hopefully our website, if we have one. Then your actual email address. Having it written out is always good as well, so that they have the option of replying to it, but they have it as a reference, so that they can copy and paste it easily. And hopefully that should be attached to a domain, a professional domain, which is either your name or brand name. For example, chris@naturallyrp.co.uk. That could be a good one. And then possibly a contact telephone number. And that's probably about it in terms of essential information when starting out. And what I started to do when I first did direct marketing was that I realized that this was actually a good opportunity for branding, using the branding that I'd spent ages working on with for my website and being able to integrate that into my correspondence. Because when there are so many people, if you're doing cold contacting and all of this kind of thing, you want to try and be as memorable as possible. And hopefully you can do that in the actual content of your email. But that also includes your signature as well. If you're always trying to make sure that there's a personal connection, and what you couldn't get any more personal than your face, as an example. And I've made a video about that previously, about how that can be such a useful referencer if they can't remember your name, but they remember your amazing voiceover skills and what you offer, that kind of thing. And so for the last couple of years, I've actually gone the other way. So I started by creating a banner, and I did that just on Canva, a free website, where you can kind of format things very straightforwardly online using just a free account, which is great. And I was able to put all of the information on that, but using my brand image, which was fantastic. And then as I got nominated for some awards, I started to get tempted to add to this and kind of create a banner underneath my signature as well. So it ended up being quite a lot of really exciting stuff that, showcases me as a voiceover artist. But in the last couple of weeks, I've realized that, when you suddenly have a moment of realization and go, oh, no, that's not great. It feels like overkill. And the reason it feels like overkill is that I think it can come across as being a little too desperate if you're throwing in lots of images. And also in terms of spam filters, certainly if you're throwing in too many individualized hyperlinks, but also if there are loads of different images, that's not going to get through all of every spam filter out there. There's more chance that you could end up in a junk folder instead, or that none of these images are actually displayed properly. So the email that you've crafted and that you've sent out actually becomes this hodgepodge of, these images can be displayed, etc., 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 which again doesn't look good. So I've then kind of tried to strip it right down as a result. I've actually used a paid online platform, and I've paid like 30 quid to have my latest email signature, which is still using my brand image, but it condenses all of the pertinent information, so it's much smaller and a bit more wieldy. And I've also created hyperlinks to all of my different social media accounts that I think are relevant. And I'll just explain about why I've done this. Firstly, the whole idea of having a small image in your signature, which has all of the clickable links, is better than having my original big image where none of the links were clickable, which is frustrating because it means that I would have to add them either before or after the banner instead. So that's obviously an advantage. And then I debated about whether or not I wanted to add social media links. because obviously the first call to action is to get people onto my website so that they can check out my work and realize how great I am and all of this kind of thing. But you also need to appreciate that increasingly a lot of people are doing their business not necessarily via direct mailing, but they may be doing it via LinkedIn. Some of them may be doing it via Twitter. Some of them may be doing it via Instagram. And also, again, to offer that personal connection, it would be possibly nice to give them a whole variety of different options, as long as, you know, it's done in a clean, concise way. So I've paid, like I say, about 25 or 30 quid so that I can generate a couple of different emails depending on the different addresses that I use, but including for my voiceover business. And as a result, it's quite a compact one, but it's quite clean. It has all of my social links there, but it also has my website link there front and center. I could add another kind of like call to action within that signature, but again, I want to kind of keep it on the down low, really, in all honesty, so that I look clean and precise, which is essentially what my whole branding is about. But it's something that I would definitely urge for you to kind of like check out, and also have a look at. There are some sites out there which can then check if you send an email to a specific address that they give. They can assess your email in terms of how it would be judged by spam filters. So if there are lots of different hyperlinks to different things, quite often that can be highlighted as quite dodgy. But for these little signature templates where they're just linking to the social media in one kind of frame, seems to be absolutely fine. It's one of the things that you pay for in terms of the functionality, though I'm sure there are people out there who, with much more email expertise than me, that could do it themselves. Anyway, those were some of my thoughts in terms of my journey for the email signature, but the takeaway really is kind of like, use it as an opportunity to add value, to again kind of expand your reputation, your personal brand, so that you're that little bit more memorable to them, but also find that balance so that you're not doing what I was doing and kind of like pushing too hard, trying to oversell too much. I hope you found this video of interest. Thank you so much for watching as ever. Please do like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any future content as well, and wishing you a great week.